Welcome to our live Wednesdays with the Artistry Collective. And it is a beautiful spring day here in Western Washington. If you are seeing this red live button, we are live. If not, you're on the replay. That's great too. Just type in hashtag replay. Let me know that you stopped by. And what I have here today is a beautiful book I started creating using the Rach and Bella Crafts Woodland Wanderings digital collection and an old vintage Reader's Digest book that I have gutted and put in two beautiful signatures. And I'm almost done with this book, but I don't think I want to be done. Hi, Chris. Hi, Carol. So it's always fun. Hi, Karen. It's always fun when you have a project like that because then, you just keep going back to it and finding more things to put in there. So I realized I don't have very many dangly bits in here. I don't think I've stuffed all the pockets yet, but let's just take a flip through. I've set some things out that I wanted to use and didn't get a chance to. So let's just take a quick look at what we're working with. I haven't done a flip through of this book yet because, like I said, I'm not done. There's Leah with Make All the Things With Me. If you're not familiar with our live Wednesday Craft and Chat, it is hosted by Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage. And it involves myself and then Leah from Make All the Things With Me and Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage. And we make up Christy's Artistry Collective group. Okay, so let's take a look at our book here. This was a beautiful green and blue Reader's Digest book. And I haven't decided yet what to do on the back. Sometimes I do just leave them because they have these beautiful prints. And sometimes I cover them. I realized this one, I already just put some glue. It had a little nick back here. This book is probably from the 70s era of Reader's Digest books, but I won't know that for sure because all of the pages are already taken out and replaced with this beautiful Woodland Wanderings paper. And I just can't help myself from touching this paper. This was some of the, I think it's Coordinations paper from way back in the scrapbooking days. And the texture is just wonderful. Why they ever did away with that, I don't know, but it's just beautiful. Well, actually, I do know because they were bought out by American Crafts, which kept them alive, but not the same. So every time I use that kind of paper, I always take a second to appreciate that, just the touch sensation. So they were kind of a creamy color that I printed the Woodland Wanderings kit on, and I felt like it gave it just a beautiful, well, I guess, nature-y vibe. There's Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage. And many of you are already doing it, but if you haven't done so yet, if you'll click those three little dots, give the video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y-like things. Thank you for sharing me out there. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so you can see my things with wings. I've already gone through and done a things with wings check. They're sparkling, even all the way up to a feather on this beautiful bird. And all these butterflies, and this one too, just has a couple little spots of glitter. My beautiful butterfly, that kind of brought in a little bit of some teal color. This collection has a lot of like browns and naturey things, and then it goes really vibrant green, which I really liked. And I spent some time making some different little flip-flaps in here. I even have a buckle, which was really great because my friend Sharon from Craft With Me, Sharon B, just got a little punch that makes paper buckles. And in this book, I used two metal buckles. So these ones are metals, but I do love them. And they do add some interest and extra texture there. So a little specimen card back here, extra little tags. Sometimes this one is a Bow Bunny tag, I think. And it's actually even sewn. I did not have to do that. It came like that, which is nice. Little pocket filler. Sometimes you can just fill them in the empty voided spots when you find something that it kind of goes with. And some of these were just extra tags I had left over, so I just kind of stuck them in pockets, but they are kind of plain. especially compared to what else I have going on with the rest of the journal. Look at this beautiful fox. I love him. And of course, I did Nuvo drops on the eyes. So they are just, they've got a little extra texture there and they're just like jumping right out off the page. I love it with that hint of green. Now this is an empty pocket. I've got the tags pulled out because I want to work on them today. Isn't it fun, Christy? Thank you. Yeah, I had really a good time just putting in some wood textures, using some metallic tones, some little bits of brick, just all the things that you might find in nature. And I love that flip. So right here, you're kind of going from, you know, calm and metallic and brick. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, green. And that's so like you would just find it in nature. I've gone through and done some Nuvo drops on these flowers. I made this tag just kind of one off, working on it by itself, not while I was putting the journal together. But I love these little flips. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, I had a really good time. I've got some, you can kind of see the layering on this tag here. It's got some of that magic mesh in the background, so it's giving some sparkle. It's adding to the wonderful, just naturistic vibe. Some little pearls here. You can see my mesh was from Halloween. It has a little star in there, but it doesn't even matter. It just looks so, so pretty. Just a little something extra underneath that little nest die cut. And then there's a little bug up there with, and of course those wings are shimmered as well. Can't help myself when it comes to shimmering things. I just love it. And the Nuvo drops is kind of the same way. And this is just a little booklet. So I did Nuvo as well. So those almost look like they're in a little specimen folder. And that's just a little notebook. You can write a little note in there. And there are some room to journal in here, but there's still some spaces that I kind of want to fill up just a little bit more. Oh, this one's your favorite so far. Wow, yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite so far. I really love a lot of them. It's so fun just to create in different styles. So this one you can see I've got a brad at the top here, and it just makes this tag movable. So I suppose you could write on the back if you wanted to turn it like, you could turn it this way. You could even put a little photo or something there. This is an old vintage bank envelope. I had a whole stash of them. I collected from a, actually, I don't know if it's a bank envelope. I think it's one of those like gift envelopes where you would, because it has to and from. So you would put a little money in there and gift it away. I think this is like the 70s era as well. It's kind of got those colors, but it worked perfectly here in the journal. And I used a couple of them throughout to kind of be the base of some of the pages. I'm not normally one to craft with mushrooms. I just really didn't get on that stick, but here it really works well for me. Oh, the edges are all just torn. I tore them and then I used some chalk ink. It's the Teardrops Memento ink, and I just went really heavily along all of the edges with the chalk ink. So not a distress one, which normally I'm all about Tim Holtz distress palette, but the, yeah, you just tear it and ink it. It's really easy. So I printed everything on creamy cardstock, and then I just went around and tore all the edges. So they almost look like they're burnt, but they're not. And just 2 signatures in this book. That seems to be what my style is. I seem to do 2 signatures. You can see these were just printed from the collection. And all I did with these was just added a shaped paper clip and put some little scraps of lace or ribbon or even yarn. And it just gives all those fun textures. Again, on those tags, you can do room to write, or you can put some photos. And then this paper collection, they had the pages in there that make it look like it's a booklet. So I thought that was perfect for a signature cover. And then some little blueberries or some kind of berries. Maybe those are, what color are elderberries? I don't know. No, I think maybe that's blueberries. I don't know. Some kind of berry that you might find in nature. All right, and then this one has a belly band that I sewed on. What is going on here? It looks like it's stuck. Oh, look at that. I got this all wrapped around and stuck under here. So this actually does come out. There we go. So this little envelope comes out. And this was made from paper from the digital collection. So just a little flip out. I've got some spots to put some little tags in. And I didn't shimmer these butterflies. So I always do a shimmer check before any journal leaves my hands, but sometimes I do miss them. The Defemorember journal that I was trying to get to Tamara, I missed a couple of the wings to shimmer, but usually I try to get them all. So this is just the shimmer stick. You'll see me use this a lot. It dries really quickly and it adds just a beautiful shimmering. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it really does do great things. Okay, and even this little guy has some wings, so we'll sparkle those too. And then on the inside of this little fold up, this was also from the collection. So you can just fold this up, and whichever one you want to be the cover, we'll let the butterflies be, just goes in here. And we've got this as well. This was from the collection. I just put some fall ribbon there with some little flowers. Those are Prima flowers. Love those. And in Brad, of course. I need to put something in these pockets. And this is lace that I used from the spine, so I really liked it here on the envelope as well. And then this just kind of wraps up. And using the raffia twine throughout the book, or even just on the tags or whatever, also gives that naturistic woodlands look. I haven't done too many woodland journals, but I do love fall, and it's nice to remember why I like fall. Sometimes I get frustrated these days with fall because I'm so allergic to cinnamon. I get kind of hung up on that. It's frustrating because it's everywhere with all the pumpkin spice, but I do love the beautiful colors in nature during fall. Okay, so that delicately just goes back in there. And then I use some of this mesh kind of to trim the pages. I think that's a pocket. It is. I took the tag out of there as well to decorate some more today. There's another one of those buckles, and you can see that just kind of moves up and down along that. That's actually some fabric I added there. And then this page I'm not really very happy with. This is the inside of one of those envelopes. And I think I used it to wrap around the other side of the envelope. Is back here somewhere. And I need to put something here. I've got an idea, so hopefully we can work on it today. And I love this beautiful orange. Look at the cute little hedgehog. Oh my goodness. Just adorable. I didn't do anything on his eyes or nose yet. I probably should. This one I did do the eyes there. Love it. Oh yeah, this one flips up like so. And then we've just got some brick up here and a little bit of some lace that's in the green. So that's kind of like a top belly band. You could slip a picture under there. Another one of those fun tags. This one I went with browns. And these flip open so you could write or put some photos. So even with all this craziness going on there, yeah, there's the other side of the envelope. There is still plenty of room to add some photos and write. And I love this. There's one of those toppy flappy things, photo turn in metal, and it just flips open. So you could put a little note there. I love that. And then that is hidden, the brad that's holding this together is hidden underneath the envelope over here. So you don't see that construction. And I love this too. When you move the tag, there's a little flower there. Just waiting, all kinds of things to discover in this journal, which I love. And these are just tags from the collection, kind of look like embroidery. And this was one of the challenges that Rachel from Rach and Bella Crafts made on her channel. And I actually got to play along. Sometimes I forget to play along with the challenges, even though they're really great, but it worked out really well for this book because it's a lot of greens and it just fit right in. This was a die cut, this butterfly, and I just stuck it in the pocket here. I thought it looked really great, kind of incorporates a few of the blue tones. And then we've got some more goodies back here, a little booklet. And this is a tab from my Monster Energy drink, but it's yellow, and it just kind of added some fun interest there and holds this page in place. So that opens. This was some paper from Joann's, Joann Fabric. It's a Park Lane pack. And I thought it went so well with this book. So there was some of the papers are from that pack as well. This bugs, but this beautiful image is from Rachel Bella Crafts Woodland Wanderings, and it's still in her Etsy shop. It's not a new collection by any means, but it's still beautiful. So I have some eyes I need to do, some wings I need to glitter, and just some, you know, last minute little details. And these are some of the big tags I wanted to put in there. It looks like I did some inky backgrounds on them and just they're ready to go. So now I can just kind of add some other things, see what we're doing. And then I had one of these packs from Dollar Tree. You can get these little specialty packs. I bought this a long time ago, but it contains an array of specialty papers, and a lot of these little pieces are like mulberry paper, which I absolutely love. And I went through and just kind of pulled out some. It's got some even more texture, and I feel like that's what's so great about nature is it includes a lot of fibers and textures and colors, all the fun things. So, and that one page I wasn't really liking so well. I have a few of these envelopes that are green, and I want to see if I can maybe fit them in here somehow. And we'll just make them, we'll make this be in the background. And then these can flip up and just hold some fun little things. So it looks like maybe 2 of them might fit on this page. I was hoping for 3, but that's okay. 2 is better than none. So we'll see what we've got. I've got a whole little, another one of those envelopes full of all the little offcut goodies that I wanted to try to include in here. And if I needed page stuffers or pocket stuffers, I would have some. So see, there we go. That doesn't look too bad. And then we'll see if we can incorporate some of these other fun things. Yeah, lots of tearing in this book, and I love it. Tearing is definitely a style that you either like it or you don't. But I feel like for all of the nature-y things, it is really great because it just kind of creates that rough, natural-looking edge. And these greens, I think I want to try to change the color green just a little bit. We're going to add some Rustic Wilderness, and I'm going to go for the Distress ink rather than oxide, so that way it'll give it some kind of darker edges and kind of help this minty color match a little better. At least that's the thought. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's really dark, but that's okay. I think it's going to be great. Yep. And when I've been inking in this book, I've just kind of been doing it really loose and just kind of messy, just letting it happen. And that's how I've been able to create some of these fun edges. Just looks like the way you might find it in nature, just really rough and rustic and yeah. And as long as you keep up that style throughout the whole book that you're creating, it'll look really cohesive and great. So that's been my goal in this book, just to keep it really fun and vibrant of wilderness, or my interpretation of the wilderness using this digital collection. So yeah, it's been fun. I've been working on it for about a year, I think. It's one of those projects that's like almost done, but I'm not ready to give it up yet. And every time I open it, it just makes me happy. So how's everybody's week going? Thank you so much for doing those thumbs up. It really helps. What did I use for the book cover? Yeah, this one is a Reader's Digest book. I just gutted a Reader's Digest book. I took the book out, is what that means. So I took all the pages that have the stories in it out, and I put my own papers in there. And it's a slipped spine, so I can add papers to it or take them away as I see fit, which is one of my favorite binding styles. I think somebody commented, one of my viewers here commented that that's called Midori or Mindori. I need to revisit what she said. I always just call it a slip spine because you can slip things in and out. Okay, there we go. I'm kind of liking that a little better. Less white. We'll do a little more over here. Okay, and I don't know what I'm going to put in these pockets yet, but I think it just gives a little something extra than this. Just looks unfinished. And we'll see what kind of fun little bits we can grab and add to these little envelopes here, so I can use up some of these extra little fussy cuts. Now these, when I trim these out, a lot of times I'll leave them hooked together in case if I want to make a little booklet, or it can just be a little specimen card. I like having the options though. Oh, look at this. That little cricket will go down there just nicely and maybe be a fun little closure for the envelope here. So it can just tuck right under there. I love that. So the paper collection comes with so many fun little things to fussy cut out and have a great time with. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do these on there, and maybe we'll put some of those little fibrous papers behind them. Sorry guys, my voice is just really scratchy today. I had one viewer comment that she did not like my voice, and I'm very sorry. I take medications that make my mouth just so dry. And I work on trying to keep hydrated so my voice is okay when I do these videos. But, okay, we've got some fun words here and little extra bits we could use. I've got some little scraps of the mesh. So that's also from Dollar Tree. When it's Halloween time, I like to get a little bit of this and just kind of stock up and see. We could make an extra little cluster just under there. And it's not a lot, but it just adds just that little bit of extra interest, and I think it's fun. That must have been just a little scrap from something, and I tucked it in this envelope here, so that way I could use it again. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I think that's going to look really cute. And like I said, I like that little piece of mesh there. It's my voice. Yeah, hi Cheryl. I've never been told that people didn't like my voice except for that one lady. And it's really weird. Most people say I have a really soothing voice. Some people say they're sorry, but I use your videos to go to sleep at night because your voice is so soothing. I'm like, however you want to watch my videos, that's fine with me. Okay, so maybe we could stick just a little bit over here. And what's really fun about mulberry paper is that you can also get a nice torn look out of it as well. So I like to use just a little bit of water, either from a water brush or just a paintbrush, or even just dip your fingers in a little bit of water. And this one looked like it does have water. Come on. Come on out. Whoa, okay, now it came on out. There we go. Okay, so now that I've gotten so much extra water on here, I'll have to be a little bit careful while I'm tearing, but the fun of mulberry paper is that you can really get some fun fibery things going on. So I like to get it wet and then just use my fingers and kind of loosely let those edges come apart, and see how it's just adding that extra fluffiness there. I remember when I was scrapbooking, and we used to make these paper piecings. They were called tear bears. And they literally were just some bears made out of mulberry paper. And they would sell on eBay for like $300. I could never get myself to make them to sell. But I should have, I guess. I don't know. But I was like, wow, what is wrong with people? These are so easy to make. Okay, so there we go. So see how it's just extra fluffy right there? Then we can glue it under here. And it will kind of add that extra little fluffy texture up here, rather than just being straight. I think I want to make it a little fluffy there too. And then when this dries, it'll just look like it's really fibrous and in its raw state, which kind of like that, like homemade paper look. And really easy to achieve. I remember using a toothbrush for some of the tear bears on mulberry paper, and you just kind of ruffle it with a toothbrush, and you could get these nice fluffy looking bears out of paper. You remember the Tear Bears too? Yeah, it was a crazy time. I don't know why they were so popular. They were really cute, and you could make them doing all kinds of things because they're basically just a paper piecing. Kind of a lot of work to. I just dropped my pin. I have no idea where it's gone, so it is gone and lost. All right, let's see. Where do I need to glue this down? Right about there, I think. And I'm just going to start gluing the background. I think I might want to put a little bit of some stamping or something. Sometimes with your mulberry paper too, when you're gluing it, you don't want to glue very thick because it will stain, kind of like fabric. It can stain right through. So I'm just going to put it underneath down there. What's everybody drinking today? I have a caramel latte that I made at home. You were working on a nature journal that still isn't nearly finished yet. Still needs a lot more time put into it, but you have a bunch of others to work on too. I know, girl, I've got like over 20 in the works here around the craft room. Fussy cutting for days and kind of getting over it. The secret now, though, is to keep it organized in a way that you can find all the things that you cut out. So, thanks, girls. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, this book has been just kind of a work of heart that's been for a while in the making. Okay, so let's glue this little piece of mesh down here. I'm gonna have to use my little magnet and see if I can find that pin. I think it dropped under my little container back there. Okay, what's going on with this? Oh, if I pull that, all the little fibers are gonna come out. That's all right. There we go. And then you can save these and use this as a little piece of twine. That is just from the burlap. Okay, and this, I just kind of had it messy under there. And see, there's little stars in there, but I don't mind that. They're kind of like they were from the Halloween collection, so that's what that is from. I think I want to stamp in the background, just this background stamp that I have. And I'm going to use that Rustic Wilderness again so that we have some green going on. And since some people say, wow, you work in such a small space, I do appreciate it though. And I'm going to set these apart here. My stamp's kind of big. And I'm going to ink it up and then I'm going to just press it. And if some extra goes on the background, I'm good with that. Just going to add some interest. I know you guys can't see. I'm sorry. I'm just adding ink to this stamp and we're going to press it down and hopefully get something great. All right. Again, not trying for perfection, just trying for a little bit of interest on those envelopes. Ah, look how fun that is. That is great. And then I'm going to move them and just press whatever's left over onto the page. Don't really see a whole lot from that, but that's okay. At least I know this stamp really doesn't have much ink left on it, so that's okay. Oh, but it did. Look at that. Oh, it's got some from last time too. Darn it. I always try to get at least the ink off. I don't really care if it stains my stamps, like if I use archival or whatever, but I try to get last time's ink off of there so it's not ruining anything I'm doing this time. All right, there we go. Not too bad. Okay. And then I want that one to go up there. So that just gives it a little bit of naturey noise. And I'm using noise as a good thing. It's kind of interest or noise, you might say. Interest, whatever. It's not like, oh, it's noisy, it's bad. No, it's a good thing here. Okay, and then do I need something in the center there? What do you guys think? I mean, if I leave it like this without something in the center, you can at least see what I've got going on in the background. I think that might almost be enough, though. Let's see. We could maybe add just a little bit of a flower, but I don't know if I like that either. Hey, there's Sharon. I just mentioned your name, my friend. I'll have to show you in this book where I've used some buckles. I got the sweetest happy mail from Sharon. She sent me a bunch of her buckles and a beautiful card. So thank you to Sharon. It really brightened my day. Okay, I'm going to glue these on first. Now I'm going to hold my hands where I don't want to glue because I still want this to be a little tuck for these envelopes. You think it looks good? All right. So we're going to just let this overlap just a little bit, and we did not put glue at the top here, so that way our little envelope can open up, and then we can put something in the pocket. And then this one, albeit a little bit shorter, is still going to do the same thing. So again, I like to kind of hold where I don't want to glue, just so that way when I get back here to gluing, I don't accidentally just get a little glue crazy. Let that overlap just a little bit, and I think we're ready to glue these little envelopes in place. And I'm going to open that just so it doesn't get stuck in there with any glue. Now, one thing I didn't address is any adhesive that might be on the inside of these envelopes. I don't really feel any, so I think they're okay. Sometimes, yeah, I don't feel like these ones have it, so that's fine. But it's always good to look at the flaps of the envelopes and see if they do have that adhesive on there that you need to look at and decide if it's going to be a problem in your book, if it should get some kind of moisture or something in there. Okay. Glue that one there. I love the contrast with this green. And then where it's up here in the corner and then down here in the corner, I think it's really great. Okay, push that down. Now we could have made those a pocket as well, but my pages are already feeling kind of heavy. I do have room for bulk in here. It's not too gatory yet, but it could definitely get there. Okay, yeah, just gonna glue this one down too. Again, could make it a pocket, but I don't really feel like it's already a pocket. It's an envelope, so we're just gonna go with it this time. I hope everybody's getting some nice spring weather. No more of that snow stuff. Okay, I think just a few steps like that, and I think we've definitely made this page a little more interesting to look at. Definitely including more of those pops of green. And another place to put some more of the little ephemera bits. And those are fun because if you are using your journal or if you are gifting it away, having little things like this where you can just pop in some of the extra little fussy cuts that you might have from the collection. So like if you have little extra word strips or whatever, you can put those in the pockets. And then as the person is journaling, they can pull those out and add them where they like. So that's really great. I'm not going to put anything in there just yet. I'm going to come back to those because I want it to dry really good first. All right, Miss Sharon, look at these buckles that I have in here. These ones are metal, and they were like, metal was a funny thing during the scrapbooking era. You either loved it or you hated it, it seemed. And of course, I loved it. But some people didn't like it that close to their photos or didn't like the bulk on the page and other things. But I just thought it was great and interesting. So I always use them. I have two in this journal somewhere. There was one there. I think the other one is a little further down. And there's a little bottle cap, closure, not bottle cap, pop tab. That's what it is. It's a soda tab. Okay, maybe I thought I had two. Maybe there's one in this signature. There it is. A square one and an oval one. You have Tim Holtz buckles. Yes, I love them. Okay, so now we got that page all squared away. That was something I definitely wanted to work on, making it just something a little bit extra. And now I want to work on a couple of these bigger tags. They have the background done, and this one even has a brad and some fabric, but not much else. And I think I'm going to put some of this green lace that I have. This is weird lace. I don't know where it came from. It's elastic, so it's like really kind of stretchy. So it'd be great for a closure, which I haven't decided on yet. Ooh, do I want to cut it or use it? I think it might be a good closure. I think I need to save it for that. And I had another little scrappy bit of something. Let me see. I think it's always fun to come back to a project you haven't worked on for a while, because the little scrappy bits that you have on your desk might be totally different than when you were working on this project. So you can really add some kind of fun things that you might not have had on your desk otherwise. Oh, this whole little thing just spelt out. I've got a couple of this little sheets of metallic paper. There's the little baggie full of lace. We'll see what we can find for that tag. Hopefully something fun. Nothing that really looks in the right color palette necessarily. Got some florals in this one, but there we go. That will work. And that's just kind of an off-white little scrap of lace. These are the Tim Holtz tags, and I must have just put some ink on these and just stuffed them in the book, which I do sometimes just to help be some bigger page fillers. Okay, so just put this in here and see what it looks like. And if I need a brad, then I can put one in. It's a little bigger piece of lace than I really needed, but I want to tie a knot up here, so. I'm not sure what this lace came from. It looks like maybe some kind of piece of clothing or something that was cut apart. We'll just put a little double knot in it and let it hang out here like so. What's fun with these kind of knots too is that you can then use a bulb pin and hang something there, which is cute and fun. Let's see, if I have a bulb pin, I have the perfect bead to go right there. Well, not if I have a bulb pin. If I can reach the bulb pin, I have these crazy drawers. They're IKEA drawers, but they've completely collapsed, and I still haven't fixed them yet because it's going to be a lot of work. There's one. All right, I've got a bulb pin. When I cleaned up, I just tossed it in here, which is great because now I can use it. Okay, and then I set out a little bead that I made. Where'd it go? Somewhere under here. Oh my goodness. All right, well, I'm going to put this under here, and as soon as I find that little dangle, we'll put it on here. And so for this, you can either pierce through the lace, or you can just kind of let it go behind the knot. But this one, I think I'm just going to pierce it through. Wow, it's a lot more sturdy than what I thought. I'm not going to want to take this off once I finally get it in there. Wow, there we go. Really thick stuff. And it's kind of caught. I thought it would just slide right in there because it's just lace. Maybe this isn't a very sharp bulb pin. I don't know, but wow, it's going to bend it. Craziness. I know what's happening. It's the power of the live, because if I weren't live, this would just slide right on there and I'd be able to move on with my day. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. And then that can just hang there, and I'll put a little charm, my little bead, if I can figure out what I did with it. All right, let's move the book for a minute. I know it's under here. So I was excited to have found one in green. There it is. There it is. So it's just a little, these little beads I decoupaged. Okay, so let's bring that tag back and see if I can put this on there again. And I think this part of the tag is going to hang over the top of a pocket. That's like the full length of the page. So this bead won't create too much bulk. Oh, come on. There we go. So just like that, it's going to hang there. And I think that's really cute. And then we need to find something to put on the tag. Oh, I had those stickers. I had some fun Bo Bunny stickers that I wanted to use. I don't always use stickers, but I do have them just here. Let's see. Plant kindness and grow love. And look, it has like some little lacy things. So these are already, they're kind of designed to look like you already have all of the dimension on there. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. It is sticky, but you guys know I always say tape for today and glue for tomorrow. Hopefully it will keep it on there nice and stuck. And I think that is really cute. Kind of goes with what I've got going here. And then I can show you the, these are really old. These are Bo Bunny Grow Love is what it's from 2011, yeah. So I guess they would consider those, what, vintage now? But just something fun on the tag so it has a little bit more than just the background. And then we'll put it here in one of our longer pockets. And it'll be something kind of hanging over the top. Where'd it go? Right here. This is one. Yeah. Okay. All right, now come on. And I think this is fun too because it kind of adds in a little bit of some blue elements, which I do have a few blue things in the journal, just not very many. All right, let's just tip this down. And there we go. That can slip right in there. And then that beaded dangle and the bow will kind of hang over the top, just like so. And in this journal, I have plenty of room for that bulk, so that's okay. All right, let's put a little something on this one. This one already has some fabric and a brad. You're going to steal that idea, Sharon. That's okay. That's all right. Where's Dondi? She probably would have something to say. She probably forgot it's Wednesday. Okay, so I do have this, I decoupaged this piece of book page, and I think if I just tear around, this would be really nice on this tag, so let's give it a try. And I put, I think, we decoupaged this napkin, and then I sprayed it all. I did all kinds of crazy things to this piece here. What idea are you stealing, Sharon? The buckle? Or decoupaging on beads? So much fun. Okay, let's just tear this little part off of here. Oh, the book jewelry on a tag. Absolutely, yes. Yes, any place you can put book jewelry is good, in my opinion. All right, so we're just going to tear these off here. See if I can get this down to a size that might fit on this tag. And of course, the torn edges will keep with the aesthetic of this book, this style here. So again, the digitals that were in this book are from Rachel Bella Crafts. This is just a napkin, but I think it will go nevertheless. And it's okay if your book page, because this is going to be on an angle now, and it's okay to do that. You can do whatever fits the needs of your project. I want to take a little bit more of this out, I think, over here, so I don't lose the wings of the butterfly. And of course, that creates one more butterfly wings to sparkle, and I'm going to do that right now so I don't forget. Not a complete requirement, but it's one of my personal requirements. Things with wings have to sparkle. And I think it just makes them look that much more beautiful. Okay. Could maybe get it to go just like that. I think I want to tear this edge off here because that was where my napkin ended. And so it kind of looks like it just chopped off there. And I would rather it look more torn, tattered. And I want to, of course, ink this up too. We'll just continue on. I've used a lot of brown ink in this book and green. So just kind of sticking with that color palette. Adding in little pops of color here and there. Hi, Regina. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for joining us here on these Artistry Collective Wednesdays. So much fun. Christy, how's your mouth feeling? Poor Christy, she's been a regular, frequent flyer at her dentist lately. But it is good to maintain that dental health. There we go. I need to go. I have a tooth that's broken. I know, Leah, I know. Our good friend Leah works at a dental office. Okay, I think I'm just going to glue it like that. I could put a little bit of some mesh behind there. I just have a little bit of like cheesecloth. And I might just kind of rip off a piece and let it be down the center of the tag. Always when I say I'm going to rip off a little piece, it doesn't want to do that. Painful. Oh, I'm so sorry, my friend. I hate when I have mouth pain or ear pain. Those seem to be like the worst. Okay, so literally just cutting off a little strip here and letting it fray and do all the things it wants to do. And we could ink this. Do I want to ink this? I don't know. If I leave it white, I think it's kind of creating a little more of something back there. Something interesting back there. All right, this just feels really thick. Why does it feel so thick? It's just supposed to be a nice sheer little mixed media kind of looking thing. It's like folded, that's why. Okay, maybe I need it in like 2 pieces. I just wanted it kind of like along the edges, but I don't want it to be too bunchy. And it's giving me a bunch of bunch right there. Okay, there we go. Maybe I'll do it in 2 pieces. I'm gonna glue it like that, and then it will just kind of hang out of the edge. Now this is supposed to be cute. Come on. It's not looking cute at the moment. Okay, maybe I just need to glue it down and then it'll work. What do you guys think? Yay or nay on this little piece of cheesecloth that I've got? I always try to incorporate it, but sometimes just it isn't the right look. Let's see, maybe if we spray it, maybe that will help. And I haven't used this anywhere else in the journal, so it's kind of risky at this late in the game adding something in that I haven't used already. You like it. Christy likes it. All right. I'm going to use some Rusty Hinge Distress Spritz, and maybe that will help. Sharon saying maybe some lace. Well, the Distress Spritz has mica in the bottom, so you want to get that all stirred up every time you use it. Otherwise, it'll clog your nozzle. Yeah, more texture. I always think more texture is good too. There we go. Now that it's all loose in there. Let's see what this will look like. I'm just gonna give it a little spritz. Everything's better with a little spritz, right? Okay, and of course, I now have glittered everything, which is totally what I do. And I had a wet wipe. There it is. Everything's better with a little sparkle. Including my hands and my pants, and yep. Okay. I don't know what that was. Something stuck to my hand and went for a flight. Ugh. Craft Room Follies. I should make a outtakes video. Lord knows I have my share. Okay. So I'm just going to glue like the top piece of this at a time, and then I'll do the bottom separate. So I can kind of try to adjust it around. I'm going with it. I think it's going to look okay, especially now that it's brown. It just kind of looks like some naturistic like element. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I like it a little better now. And then I had some little word strips. And we can put some little word down here in the bottom corner. We could do collection. We could do kind of like these. We could do 2 of these together. Species number 390, or 3900, I guess, rather. Wow, yeah, I don't see very good on green. It's ironic that I am making this book and it's mostly greens and browns, because I don't see things in green very good at all. I don't know why. My eyes don't like the color green, but they really do not. Okay, there's that. And that. Put these down here. Again, these are on there just to give it a little something extra. A little ink, because I can see the color of the paper where I cut it, and more ink all over my fingers. I just got out of the shower before the live, so that's got to be why I now have ink and sparkle and all the things all over my hands. I hadn't crafted yet today, but okay. I like that down there too. It gives it something else, and I don't think I'm going to use the rest of that mesh, but I do need to glue down the rest of my image here. And this tag needs to be thin enough to fit in the pocket that I designed for it, so I need to make sure it will do that. But functionality first, right? And if it's not functional, you can just, try to figure out a way that it will. Oh my gosh, Leah, thank you so much. Is that a coffee? Oh my gosh, that's so cute. YouTube just came up with all these new stickers. I've only seen them in emails. Thank you so much for that, my friend. You are just amazing. Someday when you have yours enabled, I will be back on your page and I will return the favor. Okay. I didn't even know I had those. They always surprise me on TikTok too when people send little things. The first time Leah did that, I didn't even know you could do that here. It's like, whoa. Okay, there we go. So there is our pretty little tag. And we've got some little hanging little bits of this mesh, but that's the point. It's there to look rough and nature-like. We'll glue it down in here though so it doesn't rip and come apart. And Leah, this is your 3-minute warning call. My time is just about up. Okay, and then on the back, just so as not to forget about the back, we can put this little green die cut here. And this was something from a project I had I think last year as well, a year ago. I don't know. I got the basil cardstock with little raised bumps on there, and it has some texture. And I thought, well, in the plant world, they might say your plant is sick if it has little bumps, but in the junk journal world, it adds texture and just is really cool. Okay. Just going to put that there. A little surprise when you turn the tag over. Want to really glue down all those little leaves so it doesn't get torn. And then we'll see if we can figure out what the home was for it in the journal. So that was the just all the extra decoupaging that we did week before last week. And now I'm able to use it in the journal, which I just love that. And of course, I've made all of this mess, but that's okay. We have something beautiful to show for it. Cut a little more of the stringiness off of here. I'm still trying to embrace these strings, but I think they are kind of fun. Okay. Figure out where this tag goes. Yes, 2 minutes. Hop on over to Make All the Things with Me. Leah, I think it was supposed to go right there. That'll be awesome right there. It is Crafter's Choice today, so I don't know what she has up her sleeve, but I'm sure it's something wonderful. And then after her will be Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage. And again, we do these lives every Wednesday, or nearly every Wednesday. We are a group of ladies with families and health stuff and all the things, but we love to get together, and we try to do it every Wednesday. All right, that's not going to fit in there comfortably, so let's find another place this can go. I would have to cut some things off. And if it doesn't work in this journal, then it doesn't work in this journal. It could just easily slip in there, though. That could be good. So there is an option. Pockets are wonderful, yes. And it's okay to leave some of them empty. So that way, whenever you find something later that you want to squeeze into the journal, you'll have a nice spot for something extra. I think I could also just tuck this like right there. Nope, too wide. Not quite. Well, it'll go in here somewhere. Even if it's just kind of tucked in like this. Could go inside of there. I thought I had some pages that were kind of top. It could go here too. We could move this cute little hedgehog guy somewhere else. And that could fit in just right there. And that's beautiful. I like that there. Okay. So things always kind of find their way in a journal. It never fails. You can just kind of keep flipping and you'll find somewhere for something to go. That's the nature of having lots of pockets. All right, maybe our little hedgehog guy will fit right there, and he'll just look really cute when you pull him out there. All right, everybody, head on over to Make All the Things with me, and I'll see you here next week for the Artistry Collective live craft and chat. Thanks, everyone.